Ever wonder who invented the smiley face, or the Slinky, or any other seemingly random yet incredibly simple idea like the Koosh Ball? Before you scoff at these on the surface silly ideas and write them off as brainstormings that any 3-year-old could come up with, what if we told you that the inventor of the smiley face, his little invention, has raked in an estimated $500 million? Who's smiling now? Today we are taking a look at some of the most simple ideas, from toys to clothes to games to even food, to find out just how they made their inventors millions upon millions of dollars. First up on our list of simple products that produced quite a pocketful of pennies, we have the all-too-infamous Snuggie. Why infamous? Well, not only is their product known for its rather, shall we say, retro commercials, it also happens to be a simple idea that was copied from another simple idea. Gary Clegg, a 17-year-old freshman at the University of Maine, had invented a sleeved blanket called the Slanket. Gary found moderate success with his product after selling it online and the shopping network QVC. But in 2008, Mr. Clegg saw the rise of a product that was eerily similar to his. We, of course, are talking about the Snuggie. Invented by Scott Boylan, and apparently after he had seen the Slanket. This rival sleeved blanket was brilliantly marketed with an ad campaign that seemed to acknowledge just how silly this product was. Seemingly overnight, the Snuggie took off. People loved its simple premise and weird commercials. And before long, celebrities were even seen wearing their own Snuggies. Even pop rock band Weezer was seen advertising their own brand of this comfy cowl, which we gotta say is a perfect fit to their brand of offbeat rock and roll at the time, but we digress. The Snuggie has sold over 20 million units and has made over $200 million. For such a simple idea, we gotta say, well done, Snuggie. Only maybe you should consider giving the Slanket some credit, as a show of good faith and all. Up next, we have one of arguably the most famous toys on the planet. It's used not only for entertainment, but also in science classrooms to explain how waves function. It was even featured in a famous scene from the Ace Ventura When Nature Calls movie. Yes, you know what we're talking about, it's the Slinky, everyone's favorite curly-Q twirled-up line of metal. Invented by Richard James, who was inspired to create the Slinky after dropping a tension spring, then seeing how it moved along his floor. Mr. James released the Slinky in 1945, and legend has it that his first batch of 400 Slinkies sold out in only 90 minutes. James knew he had a hit. Today, the Slinky has made him an estimated $250 million, and from the looks of it, this cute little spring will continue to be pulling in a profit until the end of time. And to think, all because Mr. James accidentally dropped a tension spring. We'd say that's arguably one of the most lucrative accidents in the history of the world. Let's now take you back to the year 1993, where new fads seem to pop up every month. Maybe you remember these cute little plushies that took the world by storm. They were sold out in toy stores all over. People scrambled to McDonald's to get their mini versions released in Happy Meals. And of course, who could forget the ultra-rare Princess Diana bear that was released in 1997? In case you missed this fad, we'd like to introduce you to Beanie Babies. Who would have thought that such a simple idea would rake in so much money? Invented by Ty Warner, the initial batch of Beanie Babies was laughed at by its competitors. No one thought these little understuffed animals would sell. But after 30,000 units sold at their inaugural show in Atlanta, Warner knew he had something. And in a brilliant business move, he never allowed his product to be sold in the big toy stores like Toys R Us, which made his product rare. Then he would retire older models once a new one was released, thus making his beanies even rarer. In its prime, Beanie Babies made Mr. Warner $700 million in 1 year. And today, it is estimated that Warner earned $6 to $8 billion from these little guys. And hey, if you were a collector back in the day, might be time to dust off these little animals and see what rare beanies you have. Remember that Princess Diana bear we were talking about? Its current going price on eBay is $56,751.96. Of course, you gotta find someone who's willing to pay that much, but anyways. Here's a product that is so simple in concept, yet incredibly complex in its design, that it has captured the minds of nerds for nearly 30 years. And for good reason. This game is awesome. It's Magic the Gathering, and in some ways, it's the equivalent of printing money. Let us explain. See, magic was invented by Richard Garfield and debuted in 1993. Garfield was finishing his PhD in mathematics at Penn when his knack for inventing games caught the eye of Peter Atkinson, the CEO of a new company called Wizards of the Coast. Atkinson asked Garfield for a new game, one that was portable. It had to be simple to set up, yet addictively complex, and could be taken anywhere and played by anyone with some downtime. The result was Magic the Gathering, and when it first was released, a modest 2.6 million cards were printed. But the idea caught on. From 2008 to 2016, 20 billion cards have been printed, and in 2018, an estimated 35 million people play this fantasy card game. Garfield was a millionaire and is now worth $10 million. And the revenue that Wizards of the Coast gets from Magic? In 2013, it's estimated that Magic brought in $250 million in 1 year. And get this, like Beanie Babies, the cards have a limited run, so rare cards like the Black Lotus sell for a lot. In fact, in 2019, one sold for $166,100 on eBay. And don't forget, if you want to play competitively, you have to buy the newest sets. Now that's how you print money. Next is one of the simplest and arguably one of the tastiest ideas on our list. It's rumored that this product was invented by NASA so astronauts could have a delicious beverage as they traveled through the cold unknown of space. But turns out that this was indeed just a rumor. We are talking about Tang, the sugary orange beverage that is essentially just sugar and water. Talk about simple. Invented by William A. Mitchell in 1957 while he was employed by General Foods, Tang was released in 1959. But wasn't initially a hit. But Tang had a stroke of good luck when NASA picked it up as the preferred beverage of astronaut John Glenn during his Mercury flight in 1962. Apparently, they chose Tang because it was a simple way to improve the taste of water on the ship, which apparently tasted awful. And just like that, Tang was a hit, and people across the globe inaccurately attributed its invention to NASA. In reality, William Mitchell was a superstar at General Foods and continued his inventing spree of simple yet tasty snacks, including Pop Rocks and Cool Whip. Still not impressed? What if we told you that Tang's parent company raked in a colossal $25.782 billion in 2020 due to the success of their products, including Tang and Cool Whip? Yeah, sometimes the simplest ideas are the most lucrative, even if they aren't the most healthy. Here's a fun and floofy toy for you that, upon first glance, will have you scratching your head thinking, why didn't I think of that? It's the Koosh Ball. The fun and friendly little ball of rubber bands that is fun to dangle, throw, and bounce around. Inventor Scott Stillinger invented this uniquely simple ball in 1987 when he tried to tie rubber bands together into a safe ball for kids to play with. It was an instant hit, and toy giant Hasbro took notice. It bought Stillinger's company that was producing these little rubber bouncies for $100 million in 1997. And just like that, Stillinger never had to worry about inventing again. Last up on our list, we want to leave you with an invention that's sure to put a smile on your face. It's been a staple of pop culture since it was first introduced in 1963, and its creation was even parodied in the movie Forrest Gump, when Forrest wipes his brow on a yellow shirt only to leave, you guessed it, a smiley face. This simple design was created by Murray and Bernard Spain. In a brilliant business move, they bought the exclusive rights to not only the smiley, but also the tagline, "Have a nice day." In the first year and a half, the smiley brought in an estimated $50 million, and today, in total, the smiley has made over $500 million. Who needs an art degree when you can make something as simple as a smiley face and make $500 million? Well, it seems that some of the most simple ideas out there turn some of the most massive profits and make their inventors multi-millionaires overnight. Hey, what can we say? Sometimes simplicity takes off. And just like that, you're out of the poorhouse and living on Easy Street. Now, if you're thinking you've missed the boat and there's no more simple ideas left, we want to remind you that the fidget spinner was arguably one of the most simple ideas out there. And in total, over 200 million of these little spinning doodads have been shipped to retailers, with an estimated revenue of $50 million. We say if you have a good idea, don't give up. You might just find that you'll spin your way right into the good life and be living like you're one of the richest.